there's ample opportunities looking backwards at things that have failed, but now's the right time for it. In terms of these sorts of things, moments where technology changed, a couple I would think about is that, one, when you went to a graphical interface, when you went to Windows, style started to matter, right? Design started to matter in what you did with software. Before that, it was, you had sort of a terminal, you had, menu option 1, menu option 2, you fill in the blanks, that's it. Now, what does an icon need to look like? What's the user's experience starts to matter in your success. And so, at that point, design mattered. And we were, that was very early on. We had to figure out, I think we were the first ones to create a paperclip to indicate that you wanted to attach a file to an email message. And, it's obvious now, but trying to figure out how do you communicate that without words in what you're doing with different expressions. What does a reply to all look like versus a reply? What does a forward look like? Some of the other things, you went from your PC being a complete island. It only interacts with you, and what you do only goes on inside your PC. To at the point that we created email, some of your workday involved what your PC did with other PCs and other computers within a network. At this point, most of what you're doing on your computer involves things that go on outside of your PC. Unless you're sort of creating content in Word or something like that, most of what you're doing is outside of your computer. So there's another trend. Some of the things that are more recent and that I think are happening now and where opportunity exists, when say in the late 90s, early 2000s, when websites really started to proliferate, it was like you were in the largest library in the world or the largest shopping mall in the world, but you were the only one there. No sense whatsoever. Everybody else's largest shopping mall existed in a separate dimension, right? You had no awareness of anybody else. It was complete isolation. And a lot of what's going on with social networking and Foursquare, and so everything that's going on has to do with giving you the sense that there are other people who are interacting around you, either subtle or very, very strong. And the web, part of the way the web is growing up is it's giving you that sense. Why social networking is so strong right now is that it's uncomfortable for us to live so much of our lives on our, in a world where there's no other people exist. Right? We want to have a sense there's things going on around us to take our cues from what other people are doing. And tapping into that is a big trend right now. The other one has to do with the internet and the internet being something that occurs when you're at your desk. And it's relevant to you when you are isolated from other people and isolated from the world at your desk. Moving to where, I would say at this point, more of my internet experience occurs through a handheld device, when I'm out in the world, and it's relevant to, when it's relevant to where I am and what I'm doing at a particular time and who I'm with, than the time I'm interacting with the internet sort of in my little cave, with my computer. And that's another thing that I think it makes the internet richer and is going to become a more important factor as we go forward.